organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up today on Daily Iowan TV, affordable housing. Learn what the Iowa City Council voted in favor of. And later, find out how donuts are helping the families of the fallen officers in Des Moines.
Iowa heads to Happy Valley tomorrow night.
Find out why this is such a huge game, as Iowa's motto right now is to win November.
All that and more coming up. Daily Iowa TV starts now. Good morning and thanks for tuning in to this Friday edition of Daily Iowan TV. I'm Ryan Scott. Senator Bernie Sanders will be in Iowa City today. Sanders will speak at College Green Park and the event is from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Sanders will speak about Clinton's plans to build an economy that works for everyone, not just the wealthy. Sanders will then head to Cedar Falls and Ames to wrap up his campaigning for Clinton in Iowa, as we are now in the final days until the presidential election. Stick with Daily Iowan TV for full election coverage. Recently, Iowa City Council voted 7-0 in favor of contributing $500,000 to the Housing Trust Fund of Johnson County. Allocating this money is part of Iowa City's Affordable Action Plan. Council says the money must be used for projects in Iowa City only. The type of projects have yet to be determined, but trust fund officials will have more details on the potential projects come December. The Housing Trust Fund of Johnson County says this contribution just goes to show the city's commitment to its residents.
To me is that both the City of Iowa City and the Johnson County Board of Supervisors are really taking a huge step forward in trying to help with affordable housing.
Iowa City is close to having a new police chief. City officials say the candidate pool has been narrowed down to 3 candidates. The final phase of selection process features a public meet and greet between Iowa City officials and the candidates. The event takes place this Thursday at Iowa City Senior Center at 28 South Lynn Street from 6 to 8 p.m. Walking to class this week, the weather has been very warm for this time of year. Let's toss it over to Sam Edelman in the weather studio to see if these warm temperatures are here to stay. Sam?
Thanks, Ryan. It looks like these warm temperatures are here to stay a little longer. This afternoon, we can see clear skies with a high of 65, calming down at night to about 54 degrees. Saturday morning will be clear skies again and the temperature around 43 degrees. And now for your 6-day forecast. Sunday, with partly cloudy skies, we can expect the high of the day to be 67 degrees, but cooling off at night to 44. Monday will be overcast with a high of 66 degrees and cooling off at night to about 46 degrees. Tuesday with clear skies, the high of 64 and while it comes down to about 43 degrees at night. Wednesday, more clear skies with 64 degrees for the day. At night, cooler with 45 degrees. And that's all for your weather this week. Back to you, Ryan.
The Iowa City Council is investing in social justice. The City Council approved a $25,000 grant specifically to be used for initiatives involving social justice and racial equity. The grant will target 6 areas: building community, housing, criminal justice, health, employment, and education. According to officials, Iowa City's Human Rights Commission will review possible applications of this grant and offer recommendations to the City Council for approval. One local area business has started a fundraiser in support of the fallen officers in Des Moines. Our Daily Iowan TV reporter Noah Gowdy has more on the story.
Following the fatal shooting of 2 police officers in the Des Moines area early Wednesday morning, a community has come together to show their support. Local business Hertz Donuts started a 48-hour fundraiser in order to raise money for the victims' families, and the community's support has been astounding.
It's been amazing. We've been having a tough time keeping them on the shelf, so we couldn't ask for a better turnout. The community is amazing. It really is. We've had people phone in from Texas, Washington, California, and they just want to place donations, and we've been able to take those. So it's not just the local community, it's everybody, the whole nation.
Hertz Donuts say they are doing this in the effort to let the families know that they are not alone in their time of need. Each one of these donuts here go for $3, with the company saying they've already sold over 7,000 donuts in the first day, with 100% of the proceeds going to the families. The donuts are decorated with a thin blue line across them to represent the fallen officers and will be available until noon on Friday. Reporting from Hertz Donuts in Coralville, Iowa, Noah Gowdy, Daily Iowan TV.
Just after the Cubs won the World Series, a man fell from a light pole outside of DC's sports bar in downtown Iowa City. According to police, the man was celebrating the Cubs' win and was transported to the UI hospitals and clinics for treatment. Well, I'm excited for Hawkeye football to be back in action this week. Taylor Brooks and Katie Sextro are in the sports studio to tell us all we need to know for this Saturday's game. Ladies.
Thanks, Ryan. I'm super excited for the game this weekend. Unfortunately, not inside Kinnick, instead over at Penn State, but it'll still be a great game.
That's right. It was so weird not having a game last weekend.
Yeah, it was.
So it's really exciting that they're back this week. But a bye week couldn't have come at a better time. The team desperately needed a little time to relax, get healthy, and of course find the right mindset for November.
It's a fresh start for the Hawks as they're coming off a bye week, and they're looking at a 4-game schedule that could make or break their season.
The bottom line is that there's still 4 games left to play, and you know, that's what it gets down to, and really it's what we do on every day here that's going to define this season for us. So at the end of the day, you know, we'll evaluate the team based on, you know, what we did effort-wise, how we improve, those types of things. Those are things that are really important to us as coaches. And we have an opportunity right now this coming month, and you know, that's exciting.
You know, we have 4 big games left. You know, 3 of them are, you know, elite teams, quote unquote. You know, so you know, our mindset really after the bye week is just really going hard these last 4 weeks.
We have a lot to play for this year, so you know, Coach Ferentz always emphasizes, you know, playing well in November, because you know, if we, you know, we can perform in November, you know, we can still, you know, achieve a lot this year. And so, you know, every year, you know, no matter, you know, what kind of season you're having, November is, you know, just an important time to, you know, obviously start playing well, but you know, win some important games down the stretch, especially this year for us with the games that we have coming up.
And with everyone back on the depth chart, the Hawks are recharged and ready to go.
I think there's a little more energy after every bye week you have. Everybody's a little more juiced, I think. Everybody, you know, gets a little time off. They're able to, you know, maybe adjust their sleep schedule a little bit, be able to sleep in a couple of days. So I think everybody has, you know, just a little more energy coming off of that.
Physically, you know, you take a little time off, you get a few days off while your practices. Get you back there, and then mentally, you know, it's a break from it too. You know, the grind, we've been going at it for, you know, 2.5, 3 months now. So just step away from football for a second, but you know, now it's a 4-week race, and we got to be on it. We got to be better than we have been.
There's no doubt Iowa needs to be better than they have been, so I sat down with the Daily Iowan sports editor Blake Dowson for some insight.
All right, Blake, so what do you think Iowa gained the most from their bye week?
Well, they got healthy, for one. Guys like George Kittle, Boone Myers, they're both close to 100% again. And I think the fact that they just got away from football for a while, a tough loss against Wisconsin, Kirk Ferentz said that it just like it does something for you to just move away from it for a weekend.
Yeah, I definitely think that offensive line needed that break for sure.
They did.
The motto this week, though, has been, let's win November. What do they have to do in order to do that?
Well, they need to get their offense vertical again. It seems like they're not taking any shots downfield. Greg Davis likes to run a lot of those screenplays, but when you don't have the horses on the outside, you have to get something moving downfield.
Exactly, and then playing off of that, offensively or defensively, what position group do you think needs the most work right now?
Well, it's the wide receivers. When Riley McCarron, who's, no offense to him, 5'9", you know, there's not a vertical threat there. You thought a guy like Jermanique Smith was going to be that guy, but it hasn't worked out this year. He hasn't gotten a lot of separation, and that's a lot of the problem when I was talking about they're not vertical on offense.
Yeah. We did hear a little bit this week that they might play LaShawn and Akram together. Do you think that's a good idea, or what are your thoughts on that?
I like it. It's one of those things where you might as well try it. Akram's a really dynamic guy, and getting them both on the field, it just makes the defense think a little bit more.
Then switching over to Penn State, what does this Penn State team bring to the table that's going to be challenging for the Hawkeyes?
They're multi-dimensional. A guy like Saquon Barkley on offense, he could beat you on his own, but they have a guy at quarterback, Trace McSorley, who is a dual-threat quarterback, which Iowa has problems with, guys that can run.
Exactly. Well, thanks so much, Blake.
You're welcome.
Catch Blake and the rest of the Print football crew in this morning's pregame.
Now, as Blake was getting into what Penn State brings to the table, Taylor breaks down this team and how scary Happy Valley is about to be.
Welcome to Happy Valley, Hawkeyes, where the atmosphere is loud, ruthless, and white.
This is not going to be easy. It's going to be a whiteout, unofficial whiteout, 110,000 or whatever they put in there. It's going to be loud, crazy, all that stuff.
If you're a grown-up college football fan, this is something you dream of, playing in Happy Valley.
It sounds like an amazing one. I've never been there before, but I guess we just have to stay focused on what our job is. Even though it's going to be a great environment, just stay focused and understand what we have to do.
This number 20 ranked Penn State team has a duo threat in quarterback Trace McSorley and running back Saquon Barkley.
I see a talented offense, explosive as well, and they have a really good quarterback and running back, and I feel like they're very explosive and and dangerous. They have a good quarterback that can throw the ball, take shots down the field, and that can use his feet as an advantage as well.
He's one of those guys that can extend plays with his legs. I mean, he's not one of those guys that's going to sit in the pocket and wait for something to happen. He's going to actually run out, and make something happen. So it's up for us, for our ends, well, for our whole defensive line to keep this guy contained.
Barkley is dangerous in the run game, sitting at 1,964 yards on the season, but he also poses a threat in the receiving game too.
I feel like he's better than the back that we faced in Wisconsin. So, he's very physical, strong lower body, and someone that can break a big play and change the momentum of the game.
We're going to have to be on top of it tackling, obviously just grabbing cloth, running through it, and then getting all 11 hats to the ball. It's going to take more than one of us.
He can maneuver around you. He can juke you out, or he can run you over. So he's got some powerful legs underneath him. We're just gonna have to keep him corralled in there.
Penn State's defense haunted their last two opponents in holding Purdue to 46 rushing yards and handed Ohio State 11 tackles for loss.
That's the biggest thing we're focused on. It's like the entire passing game. It's not just the line. It's everything. Guys getting open, getting the ball out on time, that type of thing. Certainly protection, whether it's the lineman backs, tight ends involved, everybody's got a role.
We got a great front seven and good on the back end as well. So, we're going to need to play our best game, and that's what we're working to do.
Along with Iowa football, Iowa volleyball will also be at number 11 at Penn State the same day. So heard a rumor that they're trying to go to the game since they never really get to go to football games.
Well, that'll be an exciting weekend in Happy Valley. You can catch the football game on Big Ten Network at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Ryan, back to you.
Thanks, ladies. Iowa's on the road to Penn State, and that means it is time for our Kid Captain Spotlight. This is Aaron Miller. He is 11 years old from Hawkeye, Iowa. Aaron was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes 2 years ago. Even though he is now a huge Hawkeye fan, he will be cheering on the Hawkeyes this Saturday from a cattle sale where he will be showing his animals. On average day, Aaron has to test his blood multiple times a day, once when he wakes up, before he eats, 2 hours after he eats, and before he goes to bed. If he is being more active than usual during the day, he has to adjust his insulin intake to make sure his blood levels are normal. Since he's become one of the kid captains this season, Aaron and his family have never missed a game. Congrats, Aaron, and on being this week's kid captain. That is all we have time for today on this live edition of Daily Iowan TV. I'm Ryan Scott. Thanks for watching.